My house is down there somewhere. It's really misty, although the mist is starting to clear. When I got up this morning, well, about 2 hours ago, it was thick fog. When I started walking Phoebe, you couldn't see a hand in front of your face. But as I walked around the hill and then up, the fog started to clear. So on the other side of the hill there's no fog at all, you can see right out to the coast. But this side the fog hasn't cleared yet. So you just see it hanging here in the valley. Look, I don't know if you can see, but you can't. It's blowing across so quickly that little things just keep appearing out the fog, like the radio mast, television mast on the hill opposite. It just keeps appearing and then disappearing. It's beautiful, really. You can't see our house from here, in other words. I'm pretty much in the same spot where I made a video a couple of days ago saying about how I could see my house. But what it did put me in mind of is, it put me in mind of, the house I was talking about in my previous video is the house I used to live in when I was a kid with my brother and sister and my mum. And it was a tiny little house, just 2 up, 2 down, terraced house in Lancashire. 1 small bedroom at the back, and my brother used to sleep, and then a slightly larger bedroom at the front, although it's still a small bedroom, where my mum, my sister and I all used to sleep, because I was a kid obviously. So it was a tiny little house. Kitchen and a little kitchen, which is only about 8 feet by 10 feet in the back, and a front room, not much bigger at the front. So we're all kind of crammed in this little house. But the thing about it was that my mum was a bit of a hoarder. I mean, she had lots and lots of stuff, she didn't throw much away really. So every nook and cranny was crammed with stuff. All the drawers were bulging, and the airing cupboard was stacked full to the top. And there was stuff in the loft, even though it was terrible to get access to. And there was a little coal cellar, a tiny little kind of alleyway under the house. So you went through the kitchen, little door, it led down the stairs into the front of just beneath the front door, and there's a grate outside the front door where the coal man would drop sacks of coal, and if you wanted to get coal you had to go down the cellar. So it was, and all that was full, it's incredibly tightly packed, this place. But I really liked that when I was a kid, In fact, if I was bored and I was a kid, I'd go exploring inside the house, even though, as I say, it was really small. But it seemed kind of infinite, because it was so packed. I would just go and open drawers in a dressing table, something like that, and it'd be full of stuff, and I'd be able to root around at the back of it, or go inside the airing cupboard and climb up to the top, and I'd always find loads of stuff I'd never seen before, or down the cellar. It just seemed infinitely complex, and there was always more stuff to be found, And I remember when I first moved out and got a place of my own, I guess I'd be about 18, and of course I moved into this house and there was nothing in it. Well, there was a few sticks of furniture, but it was really weird, because I knew everything that was in the house and I knew where everything was, so I didn't have much. And it was weird. It was like being in a J.G. Ballard story. Some of J.G. I don't know if you know J.G. Ballard. He's a really great writer, but he wrote a few stories that are set in kind of non-places, kind of departure lounges of airports, that kind of thing. And they're very nondescript, and they have this weird kind of slightly spooky feel, even though they're corporate places or just public space. Nothing ghostly about them, but they're kind of empty and soulless. And I felt that about this house this house that I moved to when I was 18. There's no exploring to be done inside it, Everything was just too easy to find. I sometimes feel that way about the internet these days, because of course it's very easy to find everything on the internet, isn't it? Everything is just a search term away. In fact, the whole idea of not knowing something is changing. I watched a video yesterday by, I don't know, a PP Ideas channel, I think, or something like that, talking about whether Google is knowledge. I don't think it is, but I do think some of our knowledge gathering processes are being outsourced to Google. And sometimes you see in comments, someone will say, "Oh, do you know this song by this person?" And sometimes a comment will come back, "No, I don't know that." But of course you can't really say that, because by the time in the time it's taken you to type the comment, "No, I don't know that," you could have searched it and found it and know it, So not knowing something in that way, at least, not having access to basic data, basic information, that's not something anybody can really say anymore. You can't say "I don't know." I don't know the words to that song. Yes, you do. You just type them in the bloody search box and there you got them. So you do know. Or you do have access to information. I think knowing is a bit different, isn't it? But the downside of that, of not knowing, the downside of not being able to not know, is that exploring is different. You know, there's no airing cupboards that's got stuff in that you're never sure what you find till you get there, you know. There's no cellar. Google hasn't got a cellar. The internet hasn't got a cellar. I suppose it's got darknet, the underside or whatever that is. But there's none of that. Yeah, that's that sense of God, this place is infinitely complex. You could just keep going and searching this little tiny 2 up 2 down terraced internet and find all sorts of interesting stuff. It's big, but it's transparent. You can just see everywhere. The other downside, of course, is that the fantastic searchability of this place makes us infinitely searchable as well. You know, I can search for the lyrics to some song, but of course I'm also exposing myself to be searched for as well. You know, I could find your address, your real name, your place of work very easily. You could find mine. It's not that hard. Image search now is getting better and better, isn't it? Google image search or tin eye or something like that. It's not hard to find stuff. Yeah. Anyhow, the mist is clearing and I'm not sure it's an entirely good thing. You can see the outside of my house from here.